Good morning, everyone. Today is Sunday, the 5th of March. I want to share with you some information regarding the inquest that's just been completed last week on Roger and Bradley Stockton's fatal accident in the Sidecar TT this year. It's got some information some listeners may not, or they might find upsetting, so please understand that before, if you want to watch this or not. There's no graphic images, I might add, but it's just what came out at the inquest. So the coroner of Inquest has recorded a verdict of misadventure following the deaths of the two TT races this year, Bradley and Roger Stockton, father and son. It happened just past Aggo's Leap on the 10th of June in the second sidecar race. Both men suffered multiple injuries and died at the scene on Quarterbridge Road following the incident in the second lap of the second sidecar race. At Douglas Courthouse on the 3rd of March, Jane Hughes concluded the inquest into the deaths of 56-year-old heavy goods vehicle driver Roger and 21-year-old apprentice mechanic Bradley. She told the court that evidence provided by witnesses confirmed that sidecar number 34 had suffered from distortion to its fairing when hit by the wind, something which changed its shape. This, she said, could have caused the bodywork to make contact with the front wheel or handlebars, adding the question still remains over the cause of the collision. But the court heard from TT technical director and vehicle examiner who was to say that the distortion would have been hard to see at lower speeds and the naked eye. The Stocktons had been black flagged during the first sidecar race, but technical inspectors in scrutineering had recorded no defects ahead of their final race. They were in fact black flagged at Windy Corner due to the fairing allegedly being observed to be flexing, distorting, but they were checked. It was checked over at that time. Maybe there was evidence of a problem and they carried out a repair. But evidence was also provided from spectators who watched the crash happen from their viewpoints on the course. One described seeing the sidecar outfit revolving in the wrong direction. Another described an almighty explosion and debris being thrown into the air, which injured a number of spectators. It was like there was bullets being shot through the air, he'd added. Referring to the evidence given to the court, Coroner Hughes said it was extremely fortunate that no spectators or marshals were seriously injured or killed as a result. Ruling out issues with the road surface at Aggo's Leap, she said there was no obvious reason why the sidecar had veered out of control before crashing into the garden wall. She also addressed the deaths of French sidecar duo César Chanel and Olivia Lavarelle, who were involved in a fatal crash at the same spot in the first sidecar race. 4 deaths at Aggo's Leap on different days during TT22 were a tragic coincidence, she concluded. The court heard TT organiser ACU Limited has made a number of changes ahead of this year, 2023's event, which would provide even more scrutiny of sidecar machines. These include pre-event MOT-style checks ahead of the racing fortnight and an increased use of technology by scrutineers working in the technical bay. Formally closing the inquest, Coroner Hughes told the court there can be no doubt that road racing, particularly the TT, is a dangerous event. She also made an address to the Stockton family and expressed her sympathy to them. So let's have a look at some of the witness statements. I know that one witness, conditions on the day were described as sunny, dry, and windy. Fellow sidecar competitor Ryan Crowe told the court the Stocktons had been using the same chassis as he and the Birchall brothers were using. The latter had built it for them. He explained how the duo had been black flagged during the first race due to issues with their fairing, and detailing footage he'd viewed post-crash, Mr. Crowe said the wind wasn't too much on the day, but it was clear from what he'd seen there was a massive distortion in the fairing as it was hit by the breeze. Technical officials who signed off the Stockton sidecar before the race had recorded the outfit was free of defects. Given evidence, the TT technical director and vehicle examiner David Hagan, who reviewed the machine after the crash, said there's evidence of previous damage and repair work to the fairing. Describing the deformation of the bodywork as very severe, he said he was unclear if the duo would have been aware of the issue, as it would have come and gone depending on their speed. And he said the video footage in slow motion had shown the anomaly getting worse as the race progressed, adding that it wouldn't have been noticeable at lower speeds. When asked by the Stockton family if the racers should have or could have been black flagged during the race, he acknowledged it would have been exceptionally difficult for marshals around the course to view the defect with a naked eye. No other mechanical defects were recorded. So there we are, misadventure. I don't know what your thoughts are. I mean, did anyone notice flexing of the fairing during the race before the accident? Should they have been black flagged during the race? It's a difficult one, isn't it? But again, it's sad. And with the French crew as well, being in the accident at the same spot. I think one of again, Ryan Crowe, he said that Ago's leap is not so dangerous. You have to be careful, obviously, but it's not a difficult thing to race through. I'll leave it with your thoughts. If you have any comments, leave them below. I know I've done this basically because last year, and here we are, we're 9 months on from the original accident. I've done this because people last year kept saying, what has been the outcome of the investigation into this accident? Had the sidecar wheel locked up or something like that, causing it to spin round? But here we have it. It was down to deformation on the fairing, and then causing problems with possibly the handlebars or the front wheel, whatever. I think there are still questions people could ask how it happened, to be certain, but we have to leave it there, I'm afraid. Maybe lessons can be learned from this, and hopefully that scrutineering would be more well, I'm saying more, but how can they be more sort of observant on such issues? Okay, see you next time. Take care, everyone.